Let's get a policing perspective on what's been happening in Ottawa from P.Y. Bourduas, former Deputy Commissioner of the RCMP. And P.Y., over the years, I've seen police use pepper spray, batons, tear gas, and other tools to clear streets quickly. In Ottawa, so far anyway, we're seeing a much less aggressive approach. Why is that?
A couple of reasons, Ian. First and foremost is history. Law enforcement agencies in our country have learned over the years and have tried different tactics with mixed results. And of course, building from one not so good experience to the other one, police have learned that these type of small step strategies that is currently being deployed, as you've seen last weekend in Windsor and today in Ottawa, is paying off. Like it's a lot more progressive, peaceful, and less confrontational, in this particular sense of circumstances.
Every once in a while, though, the police, and we've seen this, have had to kind of ratchet things up a bit, and at least a couple of times using horses to go into the crowd. What's the strategy there?
The strategy is obvious, Ian. It's moving the animals between the protesters and the front line of police officers. So therefore, it creates a vacuum. And immediately, if you've seen in the footage, police officer quickly move behind the horses to close the gap. So therefore, it allows police officers, especially when there's a lot of pressure applied on the front line of these police officers, it allows this vacuum to be created so police can move quickly and fill that vacuum and advance and progress.
We've used the word unprecedented and historic a lot to describe what's been happening in Ottawa, not just today, but really for the last 3 weeks. I've not seen a demonstration this big, this lasted so long, but I've also never seen so many police officers deployed in an operation like this. What's the impact of those numbers?
Numbers are important, Ian. Safety is in number in this particular instance. You're looking at an urban environment. You're looking at a large area with protesters that have really this is a different dynamic with a potential for a powder keg. So hence the reason why you plan for the worst and you hope for the best, and safety is in numbers. So therefore, a lot of police officers deployed on the ground, and considering it, and I suspect it's going to be a protracted process, whereas officers will have to relieve each other, to be able to rest and meet the challenge, because you're looking at a longer period of time, extreme cold, difficult conditions. So therefore, it's going to be pretty intense, and law officer agencies so far, they're doing a tremendous job, considering you have 7 agencies that are blended into a single command center, and everybody seems to be moving in the right direction, and a great deal of logistical challenge, but the number allows them to do so, meet that challenge.
And P.Y., we have about a minute left. You know, the question a lot of people in Ottawa have, and no doubt across the country as well, how much longer before this protest is completely dismantled, do you think?
Well, let's look at Windsor last weekend, and the process, and you're looking, Windsor was a single road leading towards the Ambassador Bridge. It took the law enforcement agencies 2 full days to basically clear everything. This is an urban environment. This is an encampment siege where people have basically built structures, and so therefore police will have to manage and be able to move strategically in order to first and foremost deal with the people, then deal with the vehicles that are left behind, and ultimately the structure. So therefore, it's a monumental challenge for them, and so I suspect it's going to take a little more than the Windsor situation. So my guess would be you're looking at probably 72 plus hours before this whole area is secure. Plus, you have to bear in mind staging areas outside the confines of the city. For instance, Coventry, where the staging area is still there, and it's roughly about 6 kilometers from downtown. So police will have to also manage the other areas outside the core of the city of Ottawa.
P.Y., I know you've seen a lot in your long career as an RCMP officer, and we really appreciate your insight. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Ian.